This is Clifford Scott, reporting from Hubline headquarters in Farmington, Connecticut. Industry veterans will certainly remember the 70s and early 80s, when the consumer appetite for wine was very strong. This was the heyday of the wine industry, and no brand enjoyed a faster growth rate or a more special place in the hearts and minds of Americans than Almaden. This was the name synonymous with quality wine, a brand with a heritage dating back to the gold rush days in California, and produced by a company that was able to successfully market 4 different types of Chablis. Unfortunately, Almaden has not been growing as quickly in recent times. Many individuals spent countless hours analyzing reasons behind the slackened growth. Researchers looked at product quality, advertising, promotions, trade dollars, refunds. It wasn't until Tony Mayer was assigned from IDV as Almaden's vice president of sales that the real reason came to the fore. Mr. Mayer, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today. Could you tell us briefly what is going on behind the scenes at Almaden?
When I first met Mike, Mary, and Ken in June of 1988, I was very impressed. They gave me an excellent presentation of their brand's history and plans for the upcoming year. But as the weeks progressed, and I worked more informally with them one-on-one, I finally said to myself, hey, I'm dealing with 3 very sick individuals here.
Sick? What do you mean specifically?
Well, first there's Mike Jacobson, the marketing director. I'm sure he's a jolly fellow, but my God, the old chap has a severe problem with narcolepsy.
Narcolepsy? Are you serious?
Am I serious? The bloke falls asleep at the drop of a hat, I'd say 30 to 50 times a day.
And what about Galassi and Toomey?
Well, Galassi has terminal amnesia. The symptoms are awful, I tell you. Whenever it seems like she's moving the brand forward, she never does, because she forgets where she left off. And that Ken Toomey character, he has ARS, anal retentive syndrome. He spends all his time cleaning and organizing.
Well, I have to say on behalf of our audience, this is fascinating.
It's infuriating as hell, that's what it is. If you don't believe me, go and see for yourself.
And that is exactly what I did. Posing as an ad space salesman, I set up meetings with the marketing team. My first meeting was with Mike Jacobson, Director of Marketing. Join me as I impersonate John Johnson from Penthouse Magazine. Well, first, Mike, I just want to say how much I appreciate your taking the time to see me today. I know how busy you must be, and Mike? Yes, I know how busy you must be, but I know you'll find it worthwhile discussing how Almaden might fit into Penthouse Magazine and...
Penthouse? Yeah. Oh, yeah, excuse me. Sorry. Penthouse, that's that magazine that's targeted to urban penthouse owners, isn't it, John?
Well, not exactly, Mike. As you know, Penthouse reaches 15 million men in your target audience every month. And I'm sure you know what it is that attracts so many of these men to Penthouse, don't you, Mike? Well, the answer, Mike, is our pictorials of nude women.
Oh, nude women, yeah. Yeah. Which one do you go?
Yes, Mike, we prefer to cut out the BS and be upfront about these things. Our pictorials are the most effective marketing tool we have. Well, Mike, you've heard our pitch. What do you say? Mr. Jacobson? Well, I believe I've told you everything you have to know about Penthouse. Would you care to talk about placing some ads in Penthouse? Mike? Mike? Mr. Jacobson? Wake up! Wake up, will ya? Mr. Jacobson? Hard to believe that this type of sickness had reached the lower upper middle level of Hubline management. But there's more. Posing as a rep from the Turner Broadcasting Company, I called on Mary Galassi, Almaden's marketing manager. Her problem? Amnesia, of the terminal kind.
Mary Galassi, please, sit down.
Thanks very much, Mary. Rhett Dixon.
Mary Galassi, nice to meet you.
Rhett Dixon, thanks very much. I believe I'm already seated.
Mary Galassi, have a seat. So nice to meet you. Make yourself at home.
Thank you, Mary. I just wanted to say how much I appreciate your having me in today, and I will try to be brief.
Look, whatever your name is, I'm sorry to say this, but we've got to be brief. I have an appointment in 15 minutes.
As I mentioned, I will just try to be brief.
Listen, pal, take all the time you need. I'm free all afternoon, you know.
You are? Well, okay, Mary, whatever you say. At any rate, I represent the Turner Broadcasting System. That's TBS for short. And TBS is the preeminent cable operation in the United States. We reach over 100 million people with quality programs, and what I wanted to do this afternoon is kind of give you an idea of what we're all about and possibly entice you to advertise with us this fall.
Look, there's certain questions that need to be answered before we proceed. First, and most importantly, I need to know this. What does TBS stand for?
I believe I mentioned that already, Mary. That's Turner Broadcasting System, TBS.
Oh, right. Listen, could you speed things up? I have an appointment in 15 minutes.
I thought you said you were free all afternoon.
Go on with what you're saying, Chief. I've got all the time in the world.
Well, I believe I've caused too much confusion today, and I also think I covered all the main points. What do you think of TBS so far? Do we stand a chance for the Almaden business?
Surprise, surprise! Mary Galassi, so nice to meet you. Please, have a seat.
As you can clearly see, Mr. Mayor was not imagining things. But there's someone else, the third piece in the Almaden marketing puzzle, Ken Toomey. Watch as Ken is made to believe that I'm a rep from Good Housekeeping.
Oh, hi. Come in. And let's be formal. I'm Mr. Ken Toomey.
Glenn Camp, Good Housekeeping.
Good housekeeping? My favorite. Listen, before you begin your pitch, I just have to ask you an important question which has been bothering me for quite some time.
Sure, name it. What would you like to know?
Does that picture over there look straight to you?
Excuse me?
A picture just is not worth looking at unless it is straight. Do you not think so?
I guess not. Anyway, we've been studying your brands, and we really feel Les Domaines ads would work extremely well opposite our cooking section. Did you know that Good Housekeeping indexes high